Hi, I'm jjbarnes and you are watching another episode of The Table Read. Welcome back and thank you for joining me for another episode. It's really great that you're here and for supporting everything that I'm doing over here. And yeah, I've had some great traffic to The Table Read and some really great writers involved. So thank you so much for being so supportive and so cool. I've really enjoyed it. It's been a great experience so far, and I hope that I can keep it going and keep it being a great experience. And yeah, I hope you're having a good time too. So today's episode of The Table Read, I'm talking about the absolute rules for writing. Absolute rules. That's a complete lie. I'm not. I'm talking about how there are no absolute rules for writing. Sorry, I'm bullshitting you there. Basically, when I do writing advice, and this is something I'm really passionate about and I've been doing for a long time. I've written a book about it, I've written blogs about it, I'm now writing articles on The Table Read about it, and I do all these videos, right? I love giving writing advice for a really specific reason. When I was learning to write, when I was trying to write stories, when I knew so much in my heart what I wanted, which was to write a book, write a film, like I desperately wanted to do it and I struggled. I couldn't form it. I knew something was wrong. I knew what I was doing was trundling and it was alright, but I couldn't get it to work as a real story. And I didn't know how, and I had to go looking for that because it just wasn't available to me as easily as it might have been. I went looking for it and I studied, I learned, and I got better. And I'm still learning and I'm still getting better. But the reason I want to be able to give the writing advice is because I'm trying to teach to other people the things that I needed. Because if there are people out there who desperately want to write a story and they're just not quite sure how to shape it, what I want to do is give them what I needed. And hopefully at the same time inspire and give confidence. And it matters to me a lot because I love writer people and my people. That is my community. It's filled with people who are passionate and creative and inventive and imaginative and just brilliant. And if I can give anything to those people, then I want to do it. However, it's really, really important for everybody, I think, to understand that there are no absolute rules. There just aren't. If I'm telling you, you need your inciting incident here, your midpoint to do this, you build to this climax in this way, this is how you foreshadow, this is how you do a plot twist, this is characterization, right? You're going to be able to find examples in successful stories that disagree. You're going to be able to find things that have been written that are truly excellent, that go completely against any piece of advice I give you. It doesn't mean my advice is wrong, because you're also going to find loads of stories that agree and like loads of stories that are really successful that do exactly every single thing that I'm teaching you. It's not about whether my advice is right or wrong. It's about whether story is rigid. And story isn't. Writers aren't. Writers and creators are some of the most fluid people you will meet because they are constructing worlds. And worlds aren't rigid. People aren't rigid. We are creating people in our minds. We are giving life to like people and events and worlds that would never have existed if it wasn't for us. And you have to be fluid. You have to be able to move with it because life is fluid. Life is not rigid. Life cannot be put into absolute boxes because we're all different and stories are all different. So there are no absolute rules for writing. So if ever you've watched any of my videos or read any of my articles and felt like, I don't like this advice, I don't agree with this advice, it's fine. That's okay. And more than okay, I would encourage you to do something with your knowledge and your expertise to share it. I interview authors on my magazine, on The Table Read, and I post regular interviews with authors. And one of the questions I always make sure is answered is what advice they would give. And you know what? Sometimes it's people say, never plot, never have a plan, like go fluid, like write freely, pants it, just completely write it as it comes. Other authors will say make sure you have a plot and stick to it. Don't go free because you'll get messy. Stick to a plot. Neither of them is right or wrong. They are telling you what works for them. And it won't work for everyone. And that's okay. You might feel that what I do is to be rigid and absolute. And it's not my intention. What my intention is to give you the tips, the tricks, the techniques that I use, that I have found give me the confidence and the ability to write. And I hope by sharing them, I'm passing that on. I'm giving that to other people who need it and benefit from it. Because I love that. It makes me feel like I'm doing something really good with my life if I can give other people the ability to tell their stories. But it's not an absolute rule. None of them are. You can do it your way. I think the ways I'm giving it you will make it easier, in my opinion. I'm trying to make you have the advice and the skills that are the most user-friendly, the fastest, most easy route from imagining a story to completing a story. And that doesn't mean it's easy as in it's no effort and it's a lazy option. No writing is lazy. But the way that I think you will have the best experience of doing it. However, if you disagree, or you find a different way works better, that is cool. And more than that, I would encourage you to write for me. Write me an article for the table read. Tell me your way of doing it. Tell me something that you find your experience is shaped and made better by your piece of writing advice. Even if it completely contradicts everything I've ever said, it's fine, because the whole point is we are supposed to be sharing and growing and helping one another and being involved and getting stories out into the world. And maybe your writing advice, the thing that you recommend that is different to what I recommend, can do that for someone. What I do, I hope will do it for someone else. But it's beautiful to share and encourage and teach and motivate and inspire and get stories out. So there are no absolute rules. There is advice and there is guidance. There are things that other people have done through their experiences which can help you and support you and provide you with what you need to get that story from imagination to the end. That is what I am trying to do here. Please, if you have different writing advice, if you have a book out and you're experienced and you know what you're talking about and you want to share that, and it's different to what I'm doing especially, but if it's not, it's also cool. Like, let's all talk. Tell me about it. I'd love to know, because I can still learn. I am not an expert. I am just experienced in what I do, but I can still learn, and you can still learn, and other people can still learn. And so we can all do that together. So thank you very much for watching this video. Slightly different, I suppose, because I'm not giving you a piece of advice. I'm almost asking you for yours, I guess. Share your tips and tricks. What are your guidance for writing? Your pieces for writing advice? Because there are no absolute rules. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to this channel. I am putting out writing advice or conversations about writing every Wednesday and Friday. I do an Ask Me Anything series on a Monday. I do a chapter reading from my book on a Saturday. There is also other stuff going out on here, so don't miss it. And if you go to the tableread.co.uk, over there you will find all these articles, these interviews, these poems and book reviews and just pieces of writing experience from all different voices, all different writers, all different styles. And we're all sharing together and it's wonderful. So thank you very much, and I will be back again soon. Bye.